Keeper is Double Fine's latest release. It is on the Xbox systems because it's a Double Fine game. And it is a game about being a lighthouse with crab legs.
Finally.
Beautiful.
You
Game for the rest of us.
set off on a journey through a painterly landscape solving puzzles with your seabird companion. And this is an entirely wordless video game.
Oh, I love
It's
that.
just very classic game design. It's a small game, a 3-hour kind of experience as you walk and solve puzzles. It's very linear, but it doesn't really feel constrictive because it is one of those, for lack of a better word, like artsy style games that is led by its game design. You follow the glowing stuff, basically.
Got it.
So it's very clear which way you're going, and you don't really feel like going anywhere else. The game is designed for a purpose, and you set out to solve that purpose and just appreciate how beautiful it looks. The puzzles themselves,
Go on, Lighthouse, you're drunk.
maybe skip
Sorry.
like 5 minutes because there is a bit of it is beautiful how it kind of seamlessly is cutscene and gameplay, like you're controlling this,
But also,
This
like,
is how I felt playing Death
Saturday-
Stranding.
Well, this is how I felt Saturday night at PAX. So it's like,
yeah.
This is actually live footage of Guts right now. Wow.
Yeah, it is a puzzle game. You kind of walk through the map, you solve puzzles with your bird companion. There's some interesting development to the puzzles, but they're all quite simple. The joy of them is kind of how contextually grounded they are in the world, because it's very much about experiencing the world that they've built here. There's areas where you're kind of jumping through time and navigating areas, and it all kind of like feels tied to because there's no words, there's no script, there's no audio logs, there's nothing. You're learning about the world as you experience it, and so those elements that you find are kind of a little bit of a story. Jumping back in time and through time kind of gives you an idea of what this world was, what it's become, and so the puzzles are very much about look at the beauty of the world, discover the beauty of the world. It's a vibes kind of game.
totally.
It's just so stunning. There's games that look a bit like this, but it really leans hard into, you can see the strokes of the brushes, whether they're digital or were painted and scanned, I'm not sure. I think it's all digital art, but just you can see the handcraftedness of every part of it, and because it is a very linear experience, it all feels so beautifully detailed. And it does have spooky vibes and cutesy vibes, and there's this soundtrack that kind of carries you between them really nicely. It's a bit obtuse as a soundtrack. It's kind of not what I expected, but it does work. It's kind of a little bit plonky is the best way to describe it. Like, it's not a swelling score. It's kind of like, it feels like one person at a bay of instruments kind of feeling their way around.
It's kind of like the character. It's like you're by no means graceful or anything, so of course it's going to reflect
Yeah.
a
It's
bit
Like
of
when
that.
100%.
Stewie plays the the tuba behind Chris.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
I
thank
don't-
you.
I don't-
Oh, I see it.
don't
I
know
see it.
I don't know Family Guy.
Oh, you
That's
should.
brain rot. This is a twin stick puzzler. You aim the basically you are the light of the lighthouse. That is the brain of you, and without spoiling anything, like you are not always in the lighthouse. So there's like you kind of follow that, but it's an interesting little journey that this light on the lighthouse goes. But because it's a twin stick puzzler in a 3D space with a planted camera, it's kind of awkward to control that, because you're trying to swing it all the way around back towards the camera,
Yeah, right.
and aim it around. So it's a little bit cumbersome. Like at times it's clunky, and then at other times it's just really frustrating. It's never. I never
Never seamless kind
had a
of
really
experience.
gelled experience with it. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Which is a little disappointing, and it is hampered by the camera. But I think ultimately this point is a positive. But it's kind of emulating early 3D game design, where you'd walk across a threshold and then the camera would jump into the room, and then you're positioned at the entrance, and you're kind of being moved around the screen as the camera jumps.
It's that like
Right.
Resi
I was
meets
gonna-
Grim
Totally
Fandango
Resi.
Yeah.
and like,
yeah, and a
Minus
lot of
running
early
into the same
60s.
wall again and again.
those games, you know, you would be holding left, you'd hit a screen, and then you're holding left, and it sends you back out the room.
And you do that when we get stuck in that little loop.
Yeah.
But fixed that
They
since.
fixed that here, but I'm expecting it, and so it still
You
feels
correct.
like brain.
You
Yeah.
double
I
correct.
correct
and, yep,
for the
yep,
thing
yep,
that it
yep.
already corrected for. It's actually really brilliant, but it still breaks your brain every time.
Yeah.
But what it does allow for is a really stylistic and aesthetic choice in where they plant the camera in this beautiful world they've designed. So, you know, you're crossing a bridge and it jumps to a kilometer away on a long lens with something interesting in the foreground and you're just walking across the bridge. So it's creating all these really gorgeous moments. And so while the gameplay is simple, it's worth pursuing because you learn about the world. And while it's frustrating, it's worth enduring because you get all these beautiful moments that game design sets up. So I think like the sum of its parts is really, really beautiful. And such it's a short and sweet experience. So it's the kind of thing that doesn't outstay its welcome and feels like a beautiful little homage to game design that I feel like Double Fine are always in that space of trying to make something, a game that they used to love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A game that they grew up loving, and then they go, let's make one of those.
Recapturing that kind of
Yeah,
feeling.
and I think it does that and has some clever tricks to modernize it and just looks stunning.
I appreciate that, that it is a short game and a short story because for me, this concept is so brilliant because it is a sketch on a napkin of a lighthouse
Yeah,
anthropomorphized with a little eyeball and the legs. And it's like, that's the game. I'm like, oh my God, someone's drawn that and gone, what about this? And everyone's looked at it and gone, that's brilliant.
Yes!
And there's about 3 to 5 hours of gameplay in that. And even though I've heard some lovely things about, the bird companion and that there are some touching moments in what is a limited main character, I'm glad it's not an 8-hour game that tries to
Yes.
add heaps of puzzles and make it
Yeah.
itself more than it needs to be in this case, I think.
Without like spoiling, obviously, because you'd want to play it for yourself. I find like artsy kinds of games, like use that term very broadly and generically. Like, you know, Gris is the 5 stages of grief. Enfant is, you know, environmental ecological disaster in the wake of like pollution. Is there like a core theme to this? You can kind of say like, oh, this is a very poetic way of discussing like a singular topic, or is it more kind of like a wish fulfillment?
I think I mean, I'm too dumb for that, but I like
That's pretty to me.
my take is that it's a reflection on where we're headed. It's kind of holding a mirror up to, you know, the whole world has crumbled basically.
Right,
you know?
right.
What once was thriving no longer is. It's more a dystopic future in but still seeing the beauty in the world and what was and what could come out of the destruction of everything.
That's nice.
I would have gone with loneliness in a lighthouse. It feels like the loneliest of all things.
There's
So I'm
actually
is there
a
little
lot
bit
of
This
life.
is Gus writing poetry.
There's
Yeah.
still a lot of life in the world, which actually is really quite nice.
Yeah, okay, cool.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's movement. Those things up in the sky. That's a creature. You're in a town with creatures. You're interacting with. You're shining your light on little things and watching them react to the light. And it it definitely feels like one of those. Again, the creepiness comes from this kind of like the decrepit energy that kind of exists from the destruction of the world.
Yeah.
Which is kind of this ethereal thing. It's
Yeah.
represented by like a swarm of plague, effectively,
Right.
that you can kind of burn your way through with the light still.
I really want someone, you know how like people used to do like why this like kids cartoons actually super dark and fucked up.
Yeah.
But it's like this, but take it to the extreme. Like this is actually a place in an actual part of Earth. And this is a future of economic and ecological decline. It's the adventure time of games.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
need someone to
That's
read way too deep into this.
Yeah. I want you to go so deep and then keep
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
Well, I think
sure
like
people can.
speaking on like kind of the like Double Fine's desire to kind of build on game design, the fact that you have this light that you can control and like the way that it interacts with the environments, but also the way that like other creatures respond to light. That is very cool. That is a
Yeah.
very cool little game design thing that is hard to do.
Yeah, look, yeah, I mean, I don't know how to make a game. I don't know how hard it is. It doesn't feel like a unique concept.
Yeah.
The only thing that feels unique about this game is its look. Like, that's
Yeah.
not, like, pointing a torch at a thing and then like, we've
Alan
been
Wake.
doing that for 20 years.
There's nothing unique in the world, though.
There's pointing
They've
a
had an
torch at
original
something,
thought.
but then there's like actively moving light around and having the world react to it, which
Yeah.
is
I've done that 100 times in a video game.
But it's the thing, like the sum of its parts, though. It's how those components work together
Totally.
outside of their individual complexities.
I've never been the lighthouse.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
true. You've never
And
been
now
allowed
you
to.
I've just
are.
controlled the light of the lighthouse.
I think yeah, and to add to that, it's just like the Burton-esque nature of Double Fine, because this is, I think, one of the long-running art designers who worked on this one. It's not Tim Schafer, but it's like, yeah, it's them like pouring out that Double Fine style, which for me runs so in parallels with that Burton-esque, creepy kind of beautiful nature. And I'm just like, yeah, it's lovely that that's a distinct look for them, and that it can therefore speak about. It can be spooky, it can be cute, it can be charming, it can be eerie, and yeah
How you internalize, that's up to you.
that's it.
that's so true.
But I've never shone a torch in a game.
Peter famously never shone torches in games.
Never
Runs down
been the
corridors
torch. We've never
blindfolded.
been the torch.
We've never
That's
been-
the
yeah.
thing. That's the point.